Okay, so in this video I wanted to bring you a peak season update from over here in Puerto Pollensa. Now this isn't a resort walkthrough, you can check out some of my other videos if you want to find out what this amazing resort is like, but it's really to highlight a very serious issue that we have down here in the resort. Now as you know, Puerto Pollensa has not got off to the best start this summer, what with the delay of the beach services appearing on the beaches for this year. In fact, it's something a lot more serious, and in particular if you're not staying in the hotel over here, if you are staying in the private villa or private apartment rental. Now I'm really sorry to report that we've seen a number of villa break-ins over here in Puerto Pollensa. Of course you've seen my previous videos filmed in the southwest as well about the problems we've had about thefts on sunbed lounges on the beaches, particularly down in Palma Nova and in fact all over the island actually, with holidaymakers leaving items on sunbeds and going for a swim in the sea. But this is actually a little bit more serious because this could have widespread repercussions for your holiday. Now I have seen several instances where villas have been broken into over here in Puerto Pollensa, and I guess it's the one thing that when you are booking your villa rental, you're not actually considering the security of that villa. You're looking at the number of rooms that you have in the villa, you're looking at whether it's got a swimming pool or not, you're looking at the location of the villa and how far it is to the port. But the one thing that I think you now need to look for, if you have a booking at the moment and moving ahead as well into next year as well, when you're starting to think about renting a villa, is to look at the security that you have in place in the villa that you want to rent.
Now, I just want to make the point that any villa break-ins this summer, well, they could happen anywhere on the island. In fact, they could happen in any holiday destination in Europe, around the Mediterranean, or even back at home too. So, although we've seen a few more instances than normal over in Puerto Pollensa, I just want to make the point that this could happen anywhere.
So the break-ins have been pretty brazen, I have to say, and I've seen incidences, or I've seen examples on social media where people have actually broken into a villa while the holidaymakers have been around the swimming pool in that villa. I mean, it's pretty bad, it's pretty shocking, it's pretty brazen, I would say. So I would say if you are coming over here this summer and you do have a private villa rental, I would get onto your private villa rental company and I would talk security with them. Ask them if an alarm system is in place. Ask them if you can isolate that alarm system while you're around the pool as well. I don't want to hear about any more break-ins over here in Puerto Pollensa. And well, as you can see here, we've got lots of villas and lots of really low walls as well. You can just hop over the fences and get into those properties. So I think it's really important that before you come over here, have a chat to the villa rental company and make sure that villa owner, to whom you are paying absolutely thousands of euros to stay in their property, has put proper measures in place or will be putting proper measures in place, even if it's a secure safe as well, a fixed safe in that property and somewhere where you can leave your personal possessions or your valuable possessions. My next piece of advice is, well, don't travel over here with anything of value. Quite frankly, don't come over here with any really expensive jewellery or watches or anything that you're going to be leaving in your villa. If not, take them out with you and just look after them when you're out as well. I don't want to paint a picture of widespread crime over here in Mallorca, because obviously we get crime every single summer, but I think this is a really serious issue. So whether you are renting a villa up here in Puerto Pollensa or anywhere else on the island, speak to that villa owner, make sure they've got something in place, to put measures in place to keep your belongings and the belongings of your family and friends safe too. Also make sure as well that when you do travel over here, make sure you've got a really good insurance policy too. So make sure it covers the value of the items that you're bringing out. That's also very important. Also, I'll drop a link to a video about crime in Mallorca and how you can report a crime as well in the description text below this video too. But there is a central contact number that you can contact as well if you do get broken into. But make sure as well at all times that you do always report a crime if something happens to you when you're over here on holiday. That's also very important. So make sure that something's done about it, and also you can then go on and claim on your insurance too. Okay, that's the serious stuff out of the way. What else have we got going on over here in Puerto Pollensa this summer? Well, my next peak season problem, as we move into the shade, I can see that the shade is gradually moving over the back of the camera here. But the next peak season problem I want to discuss is the taxi issue over here. So August is the busiest month. It's got busier over here in the port, and they've tried to consolidate the taxis for anyone coming over here that they and encourage people to use this brand new app, and it's called Mallorca with a B on the end, which you can download from your app store. But it seems that it's not working properly, and it's leaving a lot of holiday makers unable to get around to whichever bit of the island or back to their hotel accommodation. It's leaving them high and dry, basically, and I've seen a lot of complaints about it. So I will say, if you have the opportunity to get a taxi from a private taxi company that doesn't use this app, go ahead and do it. If you are going to use this app, just be aware that on many occasions I've seen that anyone that's number one in the queue for a taxi has then been whisked to the end of the queue again, and well, they've had to wait for absolutely ages to get a taxi, if at all. Don't forget, we've got a fantastic bus service here as well that runs from the Old Town through Cala San Vicente, through Puerto Pollensa and over to Alcudia and Alcudia Old Town and back throughout the night. We do have that great bus service. The last buses run at around midnight, so that's another option for you. If you are staying right at this far end of Puerto Pollensa here, right down by the end of the beach near the jetty, and say you're going into the port for dinner, or you're going down to the other side of the Pine Walk for dinner, and you want to get a taxi back, well, if you're fit and able, it may actually be worth renting bikes for the week. That way, we've got a fantastic bike path here. It's widely used by our cycling friends coming over here on holiday. So it might be easier for you just to cycle along the path to get to your restaurant on the evening and then cycle back. Just don't have too many vinos, but that is another really good option for you. Also, if you just want to walk, you can also hire scooters for your kids as well. And I think I mentioned this in the previous video, multi-hire is also a great place to rent from as well. If you want to get any kind of rental, head to multi-hire, which are based right in the centre of Puerto Pollensa as well. They can help you out with all your rental needs. So that's just another huge issue, the taxi issue. Where possible, book your cab before you go out. Know that you're going to be picked up at a certain time. If not, take your chances with the app or just find another solution. But it's an issue we're going to have over here this summer with the amount of people that we've got over here this year. Okay, finally, and I had to include this in this video, the whole sunbed gate issue. So I know that the price for, and I have been asked, for sunbeds over here in Puerto Pollensa, 2 sunbeds and the beach umbrella over here on this beach, on the main big beach over here in Puerto Pollensa, is €20. Not quite sure what it is down the other side of the Pine Walk over on Albuquerque's beach, but it's more expensive. So I'm going to drop the price here on the screen for you so you can see how much beach beds and some umbrellas are. Now, this service is going to continue until at least the 31st of October. After that, it's supposed to be the official season end, but with the late start to the summer this year, are these beach umbrellas going to stay up for the foreseeable? I don't know. I really don't know. I assume not, actually. Maybe they're going to have to come down. Maybe depends what the weather's like. Hopefully everyone's going to consider lengthening the season. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but we shall see as we move on through towards the latter half of the season, whether everything's going to be pulled back down again and wrapped up for winter, just like it was a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, everyone, I hope you found this video useful. Once again, I don't want to put the fear into anyone's holidays here, but it's a very important issue, and I've seen far too many cases of people being burgled over here on holiday in their private villa rentals. If this has affected you, feel free to drop me an email on alex@mallorcaunderthesun.com. Tell me all about it so I can highlight exactly your experience over here. At the same time as well, comment below too if your villa rental company or the villa owners are going to do something about security in your villa over here in the port too. Let me know any other comments too about this video as well. This isn't intending to scare anyone, and it's not intending to bring down the resort, but I don't really like people saving up for their holiday, spending their hard-earned cash on an expensive villa rental only to have their belongings stolen, and that includes belongings of their children as well. I've heard kids' belongings have been stolen too, which is just absolutely even more despicable. Anyway, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, you can find me on the Facebook group and on my Instagram, also called Mallorca Under the Sun, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye for now.